Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Offtimegaming. My name is Hera, and in this episode I'm just going to cover some more Guild Wars 2 footage, and what I want to do here is do a quick how-to on PvP. One of the most common questions I find being asked at the moment is actually how to PvP. And to keep it short and quick, press H, open up your PvP tab, which is actually found here in your character screen. You can get to that just by pressing H or clicking on, I believe here, hero screen. No, this is contacts. There we go. And just going on, click on go to hearts, or hearts, midst of hearts. And once we are here, what we have to do is just find this little PvP guy over here, which is the PvP browser. We go over to him, have a chat, and browse through the server list and which one we want to join and jump in there. That is the short and sweet version. However, if you're just starting this game and you're new, if you want to stick around, I'm going to go through the longer version, which goes through pretty much a little bit of the tutorial, and I'll do some more explanations on that. Let me just swap across a character there. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Now this here is my little guardian. We called her Blip. She's Blip Pokey. It's a good name, I figure, for a character. But the reason I did this is to show that this is actually accessible. The PvP is accessible very early on. Pretty much the moment you finish your first initial quest in the game to create your character, you immediately have access to the PvP. So we're going to jump in here, and I'm just going to do a quick run through. So go to Heart of the Mists, and you'll see that we're taken to a little bit of a different area than the last area, because what it does is it brings you into a kind of a PvE tutorial. Now, jumping into Heart of the Mists is jumping your character immediately up to level 80, and we will go through this now in a moment. Okay, and we're back. Unfortunately, a little bit disappointed with this. I found that, alright, what happens is generally when you arrive into the PvP area for the first time, you start here in this part of the map. If you open up your map, you'll see you're here. And this is the first training phase. It's pure PvE, player versus environment, and all that pretty much does is it shows you a couple of the aspects of the PvP. So for example, you run over here, you can capture points, and you're facing off little guards and things like that and getting a feel for it. The next thing you do after you run through that area is you go through that little portal, and it brings you up to this point. I couldn't go back. I was a bit disappointed in that. For video purposes, it's obviously great. If you've obviously done it once on your account, you don't have to do it again, but I can't actually show it again for the time being. And what will happen now is you jump into this area, and I'll just go a quick explanation. What you have is once again some more general combat masters and information points. This is once again all PvE. It's not actually jumping into PvP directly. It's just training pretty much to give you a feel of what's actually happening in the game and what to expect when you jump into PvP. Now the PvP in general is 5 versus 5 on a couple of, well, multiple maps that I have played on so far. And I'm just going to go over to this trebuchet here quickly and show you how it works, because this is just one of the tests that you can do when you're running around just to get a feel for the game. So you have your pretty, basic move left and move right, except we don't know the position. This is actually not so good. I can't even see this being moved. There we go. Has it moved me a bit? Okay, we'll go with that. So if I move this around, you can actually just hold the button down to move it, and it's the same with shooting, and this is useful later on. So I'm just going to hold for the distance of the shot, and then I'm going to let it go, and it's gone all the way over there. And that would explain why someone set this up backwards. Here, I'm going to get off that. Maybe this one is not set up backwards, or did someone actually? They did that with all of them. Okay, fine. We shall use this, and we will try get this guy over here. And this is just to show the trebuchet. This is one of the aspects that we can use in the game. And that was way too far, but I'm going to stop that. That's enough of that. Okay, let's just jump back here quickly. Okay, and here we are. Now what you have here is the tournament master. This is another person you can talk to learn about tournaments, and you can set up your own specific team about the tournament itself. This is a good way to create 5v5 tournament teams, and at the moment there's a roster. Pretty much you just go in, create a roster. If you have 5 players ready to go, add them to the roster, and you can join up and sign up for that tournament, and you can play proper arena type level play, which is really, really useful. There's a couple of words that go around with this. I believe one is bunker and roamer, and pretty much this is related to the actual PvP area itself, in that a bunker would be someone that marks and holds a position, and a roamer would be someone that runs between the positions defending. You know, it'll come across, you'll see it quite often in play. The actual PvP items themselves, what will happen is you gain access to your own PvP locker. As you can see, I don't have anything. I have not actually spent any time farming PvP yet. I'm still leveling up my own characters, but there is something there. Aha, we do have a shield. There we go. So we managed to get our hands on a shield. One little shield for the time being. And you know, these are items that you acquire over the course of time and from playing. You can actually track your status when you go into the PvP. You can see at the moment there I'm at level 2. If it shows up down here, Glory Rabbit. And you can see how much experience or PvP points I need to go up. And then I have a certain amount of available glory. Hitting keys there randomly, and then of course we have the smiths, and you know the best advice I can give to players when it comes to this, when you're first joining into the game, granted you can jump in, definitely by all means jump in this, but I really suggest playing the game on one of your favorite characters up until level 30, so you get a feel for all of these buttons and know exactly what they do in all sorts of scenarios. For example, I have this level 2 character and I'm jumping in here and I have absolutely no idea even what weapon does what. This, I'm going to have to sit down and read all of these abilities just to find out. But ideally I'd want to go out and practice them against player versus environment, so I know my strengths and weaknesses of the class before continuing on. And then once you know you get into the feel for it, you can start jumping into the PvP there and running away with that. But that's going to be it for this episode. It was just a pretty much short introduction to PvP. I will be back doing some more heavier PvP stuff with my elementalist, because it's another area people seem to be having trouble with, so I will be glad to help on that. But that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, everyone. I will be back again during the week with some more Guild Wars 2 footage, and of course I will see you next time.